That's not quite right. That shouldn't be the conclusion that you came to. I mean, not after all that stuff you did. Maybe this end is enough to satisfy you, but it's not really how it's supposed to happen. So that brings us to a question. Do you want to see how this is really supposed to end? I thought so. But in order to see how this really should have finished, we're going to have to go back. Let's rewind a little bit, shall we? It's been a few days since then. I think Twyla's been doing well in the investigation. At the very least, when I message her about it, she tells me it's fine. Since Twyla hasn't really been the one initiating our conversations, I've been trying to. But it's usually only been a few short messages, and the conversations don't really go further than that. I'm sure she's just busy, though, and I know that if she needs me, she'll call me. So, I'll just wait until she needs me. But I've talked enough about that already. I had a nice day by myself, actually. Sometimes it's nice to just return to the cemetery for a normal day after so much chaos. I made sure I put at least one flower on every grave today, though I haven't talked to any of them. I had considered doing it, but like others tell me, it's probably not a good idea to fall asleep in public places, especially if there is a killer on the loose. So, I decided I wouldn't do that today. But that's not what happened, though. I truthfully didn't mean to fall asleep, I didn't. But when I sat back against the mausoleum we have, and after being outside and on my feet all day, well, I was just so tired. I didn't even realize I fell asleep. Till I woke up to the sound of rain. I was surprised to not have any strange dreams this time, but this was a big problem. Only the roof trim of the mausoleum was keeping me safe from the rain, and it was pouring, and worse even still, it was night, the only light I could see from the street lamps at the cemetery. Oh dear, how could I have slept so long? Well, I couldn't stay hiding under here all night. Seems pretty similar so far. I took a big breath and ran across the cemetery to the street. Luckily, the gate wasn't locked. Again, I was surprised but thankful, as it meant I would not have to find some other way out. Once I was on the sidewalk, I noticed the streetlights were the only lights on. Everything else seemed closed. How late was it? Didn't want to pull my phone out in the rain to check, but... No, wait. The bus. There's the bus. I sprinted to the bus and tried to get the driver to notice me. Even though I was wearing all black, the driver seemed to see me. Thank goodness. I apologized a gazillion times as I boarded onto the bus for having to make them stop for me. But I was so very, very grateful they did. I have no idea how I would have gotten home had I missed that last bus. Saving? Thankfully, the rain didn't last too much longer. Or perhaps we just drove out of it. Either way, I was plenty dry when I got off the bus and onto the old dirt path. It was just a bit dark, that's all. Luckily, my phone still had enough battery to use its flashlight and help me light my way, even though I'm sure I could walk this path in my sleep by now. The house was dark as I approached it. Had I not lived here for weeks, I'd even say it looked scary. Like a haunted, abandoned cabin in the middle of the woods. It was dark, so either Crovin wasn't home or already asleep. I tried to be quiet as I entered the front door, just in case he really was sleeping. As soon as I entered, I felt a wave of tiredness crash over me. I needed to sit down. Am I really so tired? And after I just slept so long, What's got me feeling like this? Maybe I should go to bed, but I have to get out of this chair first. I just need to muster the energy first. Ugh. Am I still sleeping? It feels like I'm being pulled. Wait, I'm... Croven, you scared me. Ah, sorry about that. Could you go back to sleep for me? Wait, what? Huh? Why? It'll just, be easier for me if you are. Croven, what are you talking about? Croven sighed and stood up properly. Follow me, please. Croven walked toward the front door. I could see a faint light on outside. I followed him. When I exited out the front door, I could see Croven out in a clearing near the house. There was a large vehicle there that was clearly still running. Croven? What's this? Mary, I need you to get in the car. Where are we going? Why? It doesn't really matter. That's not the important part. We just need to leave, okay? For how long? A long time. I don't understand. What is this? Did something bad happen? Listen, I'll try to explain it all later, but for now I just need you to trust me and come with me. All right. Thank you. I will explain it eventually. Croven walked me over to the back door of the truck and opened it for me. He helped me inside, but frantically, as if to rush me. As I began to buckle in, I noticed that Croven and I weren't the only ones in the vehicle. There was a man sitting in the driver's seat. It was so dark I couldn't see his face. But Croven seemed familiar enough with him as he climbed into the passenger seat, and we began to drive. What the fuck? I wanted to ask Croven what was happening, but not in front of this stranger. The hair looks familiar. Who is this? Do I even try to ask? Well, it certainly took you long enough. I'm sorry. Yeah, I should fucking hope so. We wouldn't even be having to do this bullcrap if you weren't such an idiot. I'm sorry. I will try and do better next time. Next time? What, you want there to be a next time to all this? I am sorry. That was a poor choice of words. Whatever. I don't want to get mad in front of Mary. It's just, ugh. It's alright. As long as we continue like this, things should be just fine. What are things exactly? You know, I hope you're right about that, because if I have to worry over this a second longer, it's gonna be your head. I am aware, but have I failed you before? Where are we going, if I can ask? Yeah, I'd say you have. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. We've gotten this far, haven't we? But isn't far enough. You think my dad would settle for this shit? In all fairness, your father was a lot more patient. Yeah, well, I'm not. This is giving me a headache. Likewise. It's fine. Maybe when we get there I can, sit down with some coffee or something. That sounds like a good idea. I just hope it actually calms you and doesn't make you more jittery. Yeah, shut it. Yeah, we're never gonna make it there at this rate, though. How do you mean? You kidding me? You drive like a fucking snail. You want to go any faster, maybe? It's safer to drive like this. It's dark and where you've hardly traveled this path before. Come on, it's a straight fucking line. What, are you worried about crashing to all these other cars around us right now? I gave my reasoning. We'll get there regardless. yet, but it'll already be sunrise when we do. Fuck it. Give me that! Krovan suddenly grasped the steering wheel, much to the shock and worry of both me and the driver. What the hell are you doing? Let me fucking drive. Stop the car and let me drive if you're not going to listen. Uh-oh. We killed a deer! I've killed a deer. This was gonna happen. Knew it. I told we shouldn't have done it this way. What do you expect to do then, huh? I'm after them. With what? I don't care. Where they are headed, right? Not letting get away. What about Mary? She was breathing broken, right? So you take care of her. Ain't you used to that job by now? I not sticking around. Then. God damn it! Oh boy. Krovan's on the pursuit. Mary, can you hear me? Come on. Let's get you home safe. Lots and lots of dots. I'm in pain, but not a lot, just very numb, like being hit with a big wave on the beach. Slowly, I could feel my senses coming back to me. I'm pressed against something. I'm being held, but by who? Open your eyes. Wait, what? Oh, hey, you're awake. Who are you? Whoa, easy now. The man let me stand on my own 2 feet, and I quickly backed away from him. Who were? Mary, calm down. It's me, remember, from the car with Krovan? I was driving. Ah. I recognize your voice. That makes me feel a lot better. But, may I ask what happened to Krovan? Who is this guy? He looks familiar, but at the same time he doesn't. It's gonna be a long story. Walk with me. Oh, literally walking. So, first, how much do you remember? We were driving somewhere. Krovan was mad at you. You guys were talking weird. He was mad at you. He certainly was, though he almost always is. So it's not like this time was any different. Then, Krovan got really mad and wanted to drive the car himself, and you murdered a deer. And we hit something. Or swerved. It's a bit foggy. You're walking fine. You're not in any pain, are you? I think I'm okay. I just feel a little numb. You were in the back of the car, which wasn't really damaged. I think you may have hit your head, though. I guess that's why I was blacked out. Even though it wasn't too much damage, the car is no longer in any shape to drive us anywhere. And we can't exactly turn back now. So, our only choice is to keep walking until we get to the next town. I wasn't sure when you were going to wake up, but you were out for a while, so I admit I was getting a bit worried. But I did wake up for a little bit. When Krovan and you were yelling at each other, I heard Krovan say some things. Letting someone get away? Is he okay? What happened to him? Well... I suppose there's no use in hiding it now. I mean, how much do you know about it? Know about what? I don't know anything about any of this. Krovan just woke me up and told me we had to go. I see. I guess I'll be the one to explain it then, as best I can anyways. If you don't know anything about it, I guess I'll start from the beginning. Oh, heck yeah, get in, just a little bit of water, here we go. I like the animation for this a lot. Or at least my understanding of it. Are you the one texting me? So, you know Helen City, right? Yes. It's where my aunt and uncle lived for most of my life, and where my parents lived before they had me. That's right. Well, how do I say this? Picture this with me, if you will. Mob, gang, criminal organization, use whichever words please you. There were two of them centered in Howlin City. The first we'll refer to as the Congress, and the second referred to as the Parliament. Oh man, look at them, they're evil. Howlin City housed these two organizations, but it hardly had room for both. The two groups were always at war with one another, fighting over territory, money, whatever they could, even if just to make it so the other group could not have it. I'll tell you this because your uncle, he was the head of the Congress. You're joking. You can't be serious. Uncle Cross was such a sweet man. He wouldn't hurt a fly. Haven't you ever questioned why he wore that eye patch? It was from his time in the army. Hey, that doesn't mean he wouldn't hurt a fly. It means he's hurting the scum of the earth. He was in a war. Oh, I see. Please continue. It was a cover-up. Eventually, the Congress had overpowered the Parliament, and the Parliament was pushed to Blackwood. The Congress now had full control of Howlin City and weren't worried about the Parliament interfering with their plans anymore. I wish I could say that's where the story ended, but if it was, we wouldn't be here right now. Your mother, Mary. My mom? What about her? Your mother was a good friend of Cross. Long-time friends. I believe they'd known each other from back when your mother was still a child. Yes, I knew that. That's why I started calling my uncle to begin with. Because he was such a good friend of Mom's. Oh, so they aren't actually? Was my mom involved? Please tell me. Yes, she knew, and your father knew too. But they were never involved in any of it until recently. Huh? Let me finish explaining. Oh, jeez. After the Congress had complete control of Howlin City, your uncle, aunt, and parents lived there peacefully. More or less. For a while. But your mother had wanted to open her own restaurant, diner, dating establishment, and the perfect location she was looking for was in Blackwood. Does that girl have a Sharingan? Your uncle and aunt begged her not to make the move. They were scared of the Parliament potentially targeting her, even if she was never involved in their business. But if she wanted that restaurant, it was her only option. Not to mention, she was expecting a child. And well, believe it or not, back in the day, Blackwood used to be a lot cleaner than Howlin City was. Even with the Parliament there. Tables certainly turn, don't they? So, despite their warnings, your parents moved to Blackwood to start their restaurant. Oh, look we have features of both our parents. And, well, their family. Your aunt and uncle were still worried, but you guys actually seemed to stay pretty safe. And we didn't really have any reason to worry. They even felt comfortable visiting you guys from time to time. They'd even joke about how the Parliament may not even exist anymore. But they'd show us that they were still alive and kicking soon enough. A few years ago is when things really began to spark again. We received reports of gang activity beginning to pick up in Blackwood. That alone may not have concerned us much, but then we started getting reports of human gang members parading themselves around Howlin City. Calling themselves the Parliament. Oh, I just got it. The Parliament, the Owls. That really made our sirens go off. Then, out of almost nowhere, your aunt and uncle's home was broken into. They were unsure if it was related, but, well, it's not like they were going to take their chances. They shortly ended up moving into a safe house of theirs, you could call it. Even though it was closer to Blackwood than it was Howlin City. It seemed like the safest bet. Wait, the cabin. The cabin in the woods. The one you picked me up from. That's right. I'd always wondered why they moved there. They always had such a nice house in Howlin City. I never understood why they'd moved to such cramped little space in the woods. They lived there quietly for a few years, but, well, you know that. Yeah. I was happy Croven was so much closer than before, but I didn't know this was why. Things only started to go really wrong quite recently. Your aunt and uncle, they came in contact with the head of the parliament. This head figure had promised to meet them to discuss a sort of treaty or truce. Some deal or agreement. Told them that they'd meet somewhere public, so there was no worry of anything insidious. And after a while, they had finally agreed to meet them. But, well, you know that went south. And more or less covers most of it. I say, are you alright? It's just a lot to take in. I can imagine. If there's anything you'd need elaborated, I will try to explain it to the best of my ability. Okay. Well, I guess I do have one question. Yes? Who are you? Oh, I apologize. I didn't realize I'd never introduced myself. I'm Ovidius. I was like the first lieutenant, you can say. The right-hand man to your uncle. Oh, or well, the right-hand man to Croven now. Croven's involved with all this too, right? Unfortunately, yes. He's always known. We just didn't expect him to inherit the Congress like this. At least, not yet. And Croven, he ran off. Yes, he believed we were being followed by the Parliament. Claimed a car that quickly drove past us. After the crash must have belonged to them. Oh, that's why he doesn't like Mary. Not Mary, that's us. Who doesn't like Twyla, because she's part of the Parliament. The Parliament has to be a reference to the owls. There's no way. And he ran after it. I don't know what he thinks will help, but I couldn't go after him. My priority was watching out for you. Have you been in contact with him at all? No. As I said, my priority was taking care of you. Maybe I should try messaging him. After everything you just told me, I don't feel comfortable knowing he's on his own out there. Oh, you should give me your number too then, in case you wind up separated somehow. Unnecessary. Huh? You already have it. I already have it? Wait a minute, then that means... hey. You were the strange member that I've been texting. The one I messaged nearly every night. Yes, that's correct. Why didn't you just tell me from the beginning? More so, why were you so creepy over the phone? You scared the living daylights out of me. I apologize. I didn't mean to. Truly, I tried as best as I could not to come off as malicious. But I didn't. I see it didn't work. I'm just not that good when it comes to cellular communication. Perhaps I should explain a lot more of why I'm even here. You see, back when gang activity first began to pick up again in Blackwood, your uncle assigned me the task of looking out for you. I was to make sure that you were kept safe from all this. Of course, I accepted this task. I made sure you were never involved in any of this. Until now, that is. Wait. Why? Were you stalking me? No, not exactly. I wasn't so much spying on you as I was spying on them. Huh? The Parliament. I was making sure they stayed out of areas that you frequented. It was a difficult job making sure they kept their distance, whilst also making sure I didn't bring any suspicion on you. But I think I did an alright job, at least while I was able to. Wait, if you're with Croven, and you're also the mystery number, that means you know where my parents are, and that they're okay. That's right. Let me continue explaining. You see, keeping you safe within the city wasn't my only mission. I was also tasked with bringing you out of the city should things go awry. And well, that happened. And I was instructed that if something like that should happen, I was to take you and your family out of Blackwood and bring you somewhere safer. However, what nobody told me was you were staying with Croven. I came to pick you up and your parents, but you were not there. I never got news that there was a rumor of a murderer in Blackwood, so I had no reason to believe you might be staying somewhere else. Your parents only told me once I arrived there, but by that point I was already in a very dangerous position. The Parliament was clearly on high guard. If I moved around too much, I risked jeopardizing everything. There wasn't enough time and too much risk involved in going to get you, so I left with your parents. And I couldn't come back until we could be absolutely sure it was safe to take you away too. But if Croven really did see a Parliament car pass us by, then perhaps it still wasn't safe enough. Then where are they now? Why didn't I ever hear from them? We didn't want the Parliament potentially catching on to us, and we're afraid they might be able to track your parents' phones, so I confiscated them. My phone has been modified to be untraceable, and was why I was able to keep contact with you. But the same couldn't be done for your parents. I apologize for that, but believe me when I say that it was very hard for them not to contact you. It was the only way to ensure you were kept the safest you could be kept. I see. Are you alright? I don't know. Again, it's a lot to take in. I understand. It must be tiring to even hear about, but I hope you find happiness in knowing you'll see your parents again soon. Really? Yes, it's why I came to collect you after all. It's why we're headed out this way. But perhaps we would be a lot closer to them if we had a car not crashed. But perhaps we would be a lot closer to them had the car not crashed. Right. Even if Croven does appear a bit frantic right now, I request that you not be mad at him. Okay, request granted. He wasn't even supposed to be with us, truthfully, but he wanted to come to see for himself that you got there safely. And I'm sure he still wants to see that too. Even if he's not beside us right now. Really? Really? Most of the walk after was silent and awkward. How was I supposed to talk in this situation? Processing it was already a huge thing to take on already. I'd tried messaging Croven, but we didn't hear anything back. I didn't really expect to, but it was worth a shot. I did wonder where he ended up, though. I haven't seen a trace of him on the forest trail since all the time we've been walking. All the time we've been walking. Are you alright? Huh. You're slowing down. Oh, sorry. I'm very tired. How long have we been walking for? I can't say for certain. I didn't check the time when we started walking. Would you like me to carry you again? No, that's okay. We really don't have to. I just hope we can get there soon. It's still plenty dark out. Indeed it is. But I would not be surprised if the sun starts to rise soon. Really? I was hoping we'd be there by daybreak. Maybe if we still had the car. Ah, wait. He stopped me. Do you hear that? I did. We turned behind us. There was a car slowly driving in our direction. It was still a bit away from us, but we could catch up to us soon. I'm gonna wave them down, see if they can give us a ride. Stay behind me. I took a step back, and I noticed Avidus reaching inside his jacket. He was carrying a weapon on him. I silently prayed to myself he wouldn't have to use it. The car slowly rolled to a halt beside us, and the window rolled down. I felt a bit more relaxed when I saw the driver behind the wheel. He was an elderly fellow with plenty of wrinkles. He looked so old, in fact, I didn't know if he should even be driving. On his head he wore a mesh cap. It had a picture of a trout on it, and from little I could see of his outfit, it looked as if he was wearing some kind of old overalls. Even though I felt more at ease, Ovidius did not shift from his tense or serious state at all. He bowed over the side of the vehicle and talked to the driver through the window. I couldn't really hear what they were saying, but after a few moments, I heard the old man laugh. And Ovidius turned to me and told me it was all right to get in the car. So I climbed into the back seat and buckled myself in. And then we were off. Wouldn't that be funny if it was the bookstore owner? Thank you again, sir. Ain't no problem. Was heading that ways anyways. Frankly, I'm just surprised you guys are walking. I never seen nobody on this old path. Perhaps it ain't as well kept a secret as I thought. Well, we didn't really have much choice. Our car kinda crashed. Hee-haw! So it was you bozos who had that car wreck back there. Was wondering where the passengers went. Yes, that's correct. We swerved trying to avoid a deer. That's why you've got to keep your eyes and ears peeled in these woods. Though I suppose it's a bit late to tell you that. Anyways, what business do you have in Greenbark anyways? Greenbark? Ovidius shot me a look. Oh, right. We're, going for a competition. Visiting family. Oh, we're just going for a... Oh, crap. Wedding. I'm wedding this man. I don't know. We'll do this one. A competition? What competition is it? To see who can wear the most black? Hee-haw. I'm just messing with you. But it was almost hard to see you folks with how dark you were dressed. You're lucky I was able to spot you. So anyways, what'd you say this competition was for again? It's, an art competition. She's competing. Ooh, we got an artist on board. You know, my niece does art stuff too. Oh. Wait. Niece? Got her some oil paints for her birthday. Her smile was brighter than the sun on a summer day. Where's your piece, though? I didn't see you holding anything. You didn't leave it behind, did you? Oh, no, it's already at the location. We just have to get there. Oh, I see. Good luck to you, then. So he's an old fisherman, the bookstore guy. And then... Is this his son? And then therefore the niece would be the granddaughter? Or... Oh, God, too many family things. Yes, thank you. But enough about us. What are you passing through Greenbark for? I was hoping you'd ask. Seeing my fishing buddies do this trip every other weekend, even though I don't live too close. But this shortcut helps me to make it every time. I'm usually the last to arrive, but not by much. We rent out a boat and, oh, and I guess we don't care. The nice man continued to tell us about his fishing trips all the way to Greenbark. It sounded like he was really excited to be able to talk about it. Yes, old fishermen love to talk about their tales. I liked hearing about the fun times he shares with his friends. The sun began to rise right as we began pulling out of the forest, and once we were in Greenbark, Ovidius told the man to let us off at the corner of a sidewalk. I never did learn his name, but I made sure to thank him again for the lift. Lucky break for us. But let's not push it. Come on, let's go. Ovidius, Can we get breakfast first? Mary, we need to keep going. I'm sorry. I'm really not feeling well. Uh-oh. Are you all right? Yeah, it's a lot, you know. And I think it's all catching up to me. On the walking we've been doing. We really shouldn't stop moving. You're right. I understand. Come on. We'll get you something to eat. We'll just have to be quick. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Let's go. Ovidius tried to look for somewhere that may be open. The closest we could find was one of those chain diners that prides itself on pancakes and other breakfast foods. They seemed to be the only place open anyhow. Luckily, they weren't packed at all, so we all just got seated right away. I was happy about that. And please be quick. The girl's practically dying over here. Ovidius shrugged his coat off and then tossed it onto the open seat beside him before taking his seat across from me. Alright, here we go. You didn't have to do that, huh? Rush the waitstaff. It's not that dire. You're feeling unwell. I'm sure they can see that. You also shouldn't toss your coat like that. It's expensive, isn't it? It'll wrinkle easily like that. Well, it'll wrinkle so easily, maybe it shouldn't cost so much. You think that? Yeah, I do. Why is expensive stuff the type that ruins so easily? You should get what you pay for. Wouldn't you agree with that? Yeah, I guess I would. You alright? Can I ask you about, can you tell me... the fire department. Huh? Ovidius quickly scanned the dining room and everyone in it. I work for the fire department. And you're curious about that, right? Oh. Yeah. Can you tell me about, the fire department? To an extent. What do you want to know? How long have you been a fireman? Have you always wanted to be a fireman? Are you good at being a fireman? I want to know this one. I didn't think I could say for certain. It's almost hard to remember a time when I wasn't in the line of work. Is that sad? If I had to guess, I'd say it's been at least around 10 years. Really? That's a long time. Yep. It is a long time. When I think back to when I first received that text message from such a mysterious number of all the potential candidates it could have been, I never would have imagined it would have led to something like this happening. Are you upset? Yeah, I wanted it to be a ghost, actually. No. I mean, I'm glad it was actually an ally. After all, how could I be upset with someone who's done so much for me? Someone who's risked their life for me and yet doesn't know me at all. I wouldn't say I don't know you. Not anymore. We messaged one another almost every day, didn't we? Even though it might not have been much. I feel like I learned a lot about you. Besides, even though you don't know me in return, you were always coming back to me. Or looking at me. Looking to me when you were in trouble. I know that you're a bright girl even if you don't think so. And bright enough to ask for help when you need it. That's something that can't be said about a lot of people. Maybe if I had been more like you, I wouldn't be in the position I am now. Oh, but no, don't take that the wrong way. I'm here anyways. And if I gotta be here anyways, then I'm glad it's with someone like you. Oh, that's cute. Thank you. If I may, can I ask one more thing? Of course. It's about both. Yes, go ahead. My uncle in the fire department. You knew my uncle. You said you worked right beside him, right? Yes, I did. My uncle, was he a good person? He was silent for a moment. Listen, Mary. Your uncle, I owe my life to your uncle. And I'm sure many others do too. But just because I am loyal to him doesn't mean that he was exactly a good person either. Your uncle did a lot for me and for the rest of the fire department. But there's no such thing as a good firefighter. Heh, I guess I didn't realize how'd that sound out loud. Thank you, Ovidius, for everything you've been doing for us. I don't know if Croven ever tells you, but really, thank you so much. Of course. There's no one else I'd rather do it for. I felt much better after I was fed. Physically better, but I think the emotional toil was also a bit easier to digest. Come on, let's head out. Once we get past this point, we should be in the clear. Since we're no longer had our own vehicle, Ovidius and I had to find a bus stop. We'd have to take a bus after bus until we could make a path to wherever it was we were supposed to be going. That's okay, though. I was used to riding on a bus. Oh, wow, we're close. Jeez Louise. We look like a couple. We look like a cute couple, except for the missing eye thing. You look tired. Nah. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Are you sure? Yes. Are you really sure? Yes. We'll be on this bus for a while. You can take a nap if you'd like. That doesn't seem safe. What if we run into trouble? Then I'll wake you up. Wow, this sounds like a terrible idea. Promise? Promise. So cute. I checked my messages with Croven. Still nothing. I could only hope that the reason he wasn't answering was because he was being extra careful, and not because something else was going down. Oh! We've got off the bus now. Did Twyla just stop texting us? I guess she doesn't have any reason to text us. We've got to get off the bus now. I don't think it'll be much longer. Is this it? Yes, this is it. He'd brought me to a white-paneled house in the middle of a cutesy suburban neighborhood. In a city much, much farther from Blackwood than I would have liked to think. Are we supposed to stay here forever? No, not forever. Just for a while. Until we can get things under control. Aren't you happy? Your parents are safe, and you'll get to be with them again. I know, but I like Blackwood and Croven. Don't worry about Croven. Don't worry about Blackwood. Both of those, they're my job, and I've never been bad at my job before. I'm gonna take care of it. I'm sure you'll be back in Blackwood before you know it. I approached the front door of the house. My parents, who had been missing for so long, they're really right behind this door? Ovidius stood back on the sidewalk. I don't know if it was because he didn't want to feel like he was pushing himself into the picture, or because he wanted to be able to leave as soon as he saw that I was safe. Everything that's happened, does it really end here? Knock on that door. There's only one thing left to do. I lifted my hand to the door and knocked. Once. Twice. 3 times. The knob slowly turned, but when it opened... Well, hello, miss. What brings you knocking on our door, Lost your way? Oh, don't be silly. You were looking for Mommy and Daddy, isn't that right? So sorry, they stepped out for a moment, but we're more than happy to babysit you until they get back. Mary. Wait a minute, is that the same guy that was, liking the party trick? I was grabbed by the strangers and began to cover my mouth with a cloth. It smelled something I couldn't quite recognize, but I already knew what was happening. I tried calling out to Ovidius, but my mouth was covered. You don't mind if we take her out for a little play date, right? Let her go. Yeah, I don't think so. And I wouldn't even try reaching for that gun of yours unless you're in the mood for a Bloody Mary. Haha. Mary, listen to me. It's going to be okay. My vision was beginning to fade. We're getting chloroformed. I'm not going to let them hurt you. I promise you that. I'm good at what I do. Huh? What is this? I don't remember how I got here. But I've been holding on to here for a long time. Even still, I don't feel tired. But I'm not strong enough to lift myself up. My other arm feels slack at my side. I can't move it. I can't lift myself any higher with this arm, but if I were to lift it or move it, then I'd just fall. I need someone to help me. Someone like... Twyla. Thank goodness you're here. Ahaha, I know. You don't have to give me that face. I promise, once I'm out of this, I can help you again. And I won't be in your way this time. Or cause you any more trouble. I know I haven't been the best partner in crime lately, but I'm gonna shape up, I swear. So, if you could please help me up, okay? I wasn't really bothered at first, but my arms are actually starting to feel a bit tired now. Twyla? Ah. Huh? What? Just a dream. Wait, where's this? I was kidnapped. But this place, is this a jail cell? A real jail cell? I quickly looked around the place. It seems to have been abandoned for quite some time. But they brought me here. Ovidius, I have to get to him. I checked my pockets. Of course they took my phone, why wouldn't they? Okay, stay calm. We can find a way out of here. Look through cell bars. I tried looking through the cell bars to get a better idea of the area I was in. And I seemed to be in a cell at the end of a long hall. I couldn't see anyone in any of the other cells. But I didn't want to risk shouting out for anyone, in case the wrong person heard me. The only thing I could see at the end of the hall was the staircase. Uh-oh, maybe we're in some sort of creeper's dungeon. Check the vent. I climbed over to the vent that was on the wall. People escape through vents in movies all the time, right? Even though it was old and rusty, it wasn't going to give any time soon. Well, that's just no good. There's no way I'd be able to open it on my own. Oh, jeez. Okay. Check the cell door. Open the cell door. Check the bed first. I tried checking around the bed in the cell. It felt hard as a rock, and even the sheet was covered in a fine layer of rocky debris. I tried looking under it to see if there was any sort of hole or trap door I could sneak through. Of course there wasn't. Okay, check the sink. I tried checking the sink basin for anything that might be useful. I remember playing old escape games, and usually the sinks would have something important in them, like a screwdriver or even a key. Not this time, though. Why would there be a key in the sink? Check the toilet. Ew! I don't want to get anywhere near that toilet. Besides, even just looking from here, I can see that it's empty. And I'd rather not get my arms stuck in a pipe trying to look for something anyways. Okay. Open the cell door. I tried opening the cell door. It clanged and rattled. Of course it was locked. But I at least had to try. Okay. I'm looking forward to this hole in the wall. Maybe we're going to Shawshank Redemption this. There was large hole in the cell wall. I don't know whether it was purposely made by a frustrated inmate or if it just began to wear away over time. Either way, it's not going to help me much. Get in there, you're tiny. Stick your head through there. Pull on one of the things. All it's got is some exposed pipes. There's not any room for me to be able to fit in there. Oh, okay. Even if I could, I had no place to go. That's everything? No, that can't be it. There has to be something else I can do. There has to. There isn't any way out. I'm trapped here. I can't do anything. I can't believe this. Croven, Ovidius, Mom and Dad. They're all in trouble. And for what? Because of me. If they weren't trying so hard to keep me safe. That's so stupid. They're so stupid. None of this would be happening right now if they just... Suddenly, I heard a rattle against the bars. I thought I was finally done for, until I looked up. Oh my goodness. What? This can't be right. We're going crazy. Reginald? Reginald was here, right in front of me. But how? He was knocking against the bars and gesturing over for me to come closer. Saving. Oh, creepy. I saved over the one where he was being creepy. Uh-huh. Reginald? What are you doing here? I thought you blew your brains out, man. I tried to keep my voice down as best I could. Hi. How is this possible? How did you know I was here? You're not working with these people, are you? Oh, wait. Hold on. He didn't blow his brains out yet, did he? That was when... Wait, yes, we're in the past. Twyla and him haven't met in his apartment complex yet, so he's not dead yet, and we also don't know that he's the butcher. You're not working with these people, are you? Then I don't understand. How is it that you're here right now? Am I still dreaming? Why aren't you saying anything? Suddenly, I felt pressure against my hands. Reginald was pushing something into my hands. Giggity? Oh. Keys? Wait, are these the keys to the cell? I don't understand. I mean, thank you, but where did you find these? How did you know I was here? How did you even get here? It's just not making any sense. Huh? Without a word, Reginald stood up and turned around and began walking towards the exit, waving back at me, as if he was saying goodbye. I didn't understand. What was that? Wait, but these keys. I can't worry about Reginald right now. I have to get out of here while I still have the chance. I inserted the keys into the lock of the door on the other side. Come on, come on. Yes. The cell opened. There's no time to waste. Time's a-wasting. Dots. If only I knew where I was going. Oh, no. One problem at a time. I didn't see Reginald after I left the cell. Come on, dude. Couldn't you be, bodyguarding me right now? Bullet ragging for me? Nor do I have any idea where he could have went. This place seemed so big and empty. But I knew that couldn't be the case. There had to be people lurking around here somewhere. I just didn't know where. How unusual to have a prisoner and have no one watching them. Usually there would always be someone, wouldn't there? Maybe they're very casual about this whole affair. I tried to listen for them just in case I needed to hide. But I couldn't hear anything. Just where is this anyways? Oh my goodness. Inspect the cells. I looked into some of the cells that lined the walls. I wonder if I would see someone else trapped in a similar position to mine. Alas, there were none. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for me. Each of these cells seemed to be similar condition to mine. What they made up for in one area, they were lacking in another. Sure, there was no crack in the wall in this cell, but the toilet was completely missing. Maybe this cell's got a pillow, but the sink is missing its knobs. How does that happen? How long has this place been like this? What am I doing here? Alright. I tried to look for any signs on the walls to help me get a better sense of the area. Of course, I found none. I shouldn't be surprised this is a jail, not a school. Or is it a prison? How would you be able to tell? What's the difference between a jail and a prison anyways? Temp stay and permanent. There's no time to think about that right now, though. That's it. I tried listening around for anything. Footsteps. Talking. Anything. I'm hearing, Legend of Zelda fire temple music. If I listen really closely, I can hear the sound of something faint. But I can't really discern what it is. Maybe if I get closer. Alright, keep moving. I didn't have any time to waste on silly stuff. I have to keep moving. Either until I find Ovidius, my phone, or a way out. As I continued to move, I began to hear something clearly. It sounded like the rattling of cage bars. Someone's fighting against them real hard. Then suddenly a voice. You think you got away with this? Wait, that's not just any voice, it's... I swear to fuck, when I get out of here, I'm taking this whole place down with all you in it. Groven. I've got to get to him. He hasn't had spaghetti in days. Following the sound of his frustrated yelling and clanging of metal, I was able to find... Groven. Mary. What the shit? How'd you get here? Wait, before any of that, I think I can get you out of here. I used the keys Reginald gave me in the keyhole for Groven's cell. Could they really... Yes. It opened. You're welcome. We should probably not be in the cell. Hey! Not bad. When'd you get so toolsy? But more importantly, when the fuck did you get here? You're not supposed to be anywhere near here right now. Listen, It's a lot to explain, but we need to find a way out of here. What, so soon? You need to find a way out, but I don't think I could just leave yet. What? What are you talking about? We have to leave. Listen, Mary, I know I messed up a little bit. And that fucker Ovidius did too by letting you wind up here. But because of that, I can't just let things keep getting worse. Think of it like this, yeah? When you've got a wasp problem, do you just buy a fly swatter? Or do you call an exterminator to take the whole nest out? You befriend the wasps. You compliment their feathers and eyebrows. Groven, what are you even talking about? Don't worry, Mars. I'm gonna stop the problem at the source. Groven! Groven ran out of the cell. Without me. Okay, bye. And we made our way out. And we didn't follow him. It's not our problem. Mom and Dad's the problem. He's a big boy. I guess I'm on my own again until I can find him. Now, is this a choice? All right. This was weird. Sorry, not weird, but just kind of an awkward scene where it's just like, come here. Or anyone. I wonder what the chances are of us running into Twyla are. You know? Because remember when we went... Okay, so let's back it up. Didn't she leave when we... Okay, so we had the sleepover party with Twyla where she was like texting people or something, but she left temporarily. Where did she go? Are we going to figure that out right now? I walked around again completely lost. I was beginning to wonder if I was just wasting my time going in circles. Though I eventually made it somewhere else. A different area. There weren't many, if any, cells here. The walls were tiled from floor to ceiling. It was strange. It felt like being in a bathroom. The longest, most maze-like bathroom in the world. I wish I knew what kind of area this even was. But more importantly, I wish I knew how to get out of it. Then I began to hear something. Talking. There's people talking somewhere. I tried to get closer so I could at least know exactly where they were, and maybe find out what they were planning. What does Mary have to do with any of this? Why would you capture Mary? I'm trying to think of this. Normally, even in gang war stuff, you don't hurt the families. Unless you're like, it's a personal beef. Did the Crow's family hurt one of the innocent of the Parliament family? Congress versus Parliament? Is that what happened? But as I peered the corner, just to get a glance, I was met with the face of... Uh-oh. Oh, no! Oh, no. Twyla? Twyla is here. She's talking on the phone, but I can't quite make out what she's saying. Also, she's also talking to someone in front of her, handing her things. She was a boss? I thought that she was... I guess I knew that she had to be I don't know, if people were chauffeuring her, right? She's clearly not in any danger, but no, I don't understand. Twyla was dedicated to catching the killer, wasn't she? She wanted our city to clean up. So why is that? She spotted me. She's looking at me right in the eyes. What do I do? Oh, that's the one we're choosing. Hold on. I'm running out of save spots. Just I wanted way better. I waved to her. I don't know why. I mean, what else could I do? I shouldn't have waved. Oh, fuck. What's wrong with me? No, it made sense. Even though Twyla clearly saw me, she did not out me to the person in front of her. Rather, she let them walk on a different direction, and I was finally able to make out the last thing she said on the phone. I'll talk to you later. Twyla hung up her phone and then stood facing me. I watched her from behind the corner a few seconds longer before working up the courage to meet her in the middle. Hey, what up, girl? This is an awkward moment. Twyla, what are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing. You're not really involved with these people, are you? I thought you wanted to keep things clean in our city. You hated crime, and that's why. It's all very complicated. I wouldn't expect you to understand. This is why Croven never wanted me around you. He knew that you were with the people who wanted to hurt us. Do you think he's innocent in all this? That he isn't trying to hurt us as well? We simply do what we need to do. As for me, I'm in all of this because of my uncle. Hey, him too. Your uncle. He's in charge. The guy watching whatever peril in his pajamas, eating pizza out of the fridge kind of guy? He's the one in charge of all of this? Huh. Okay, so we're the nephew? Let me guess, your parents died too, so it's like a mirror story? Huh. Neat. Then he's just like, but you don't have to be involved in any of this. Twyla? Did you say it yourself? I want to keep our city clean. Why don't I help you out of this? Wait, really? Mm-hmm. You don't have to be here. I'll show you the way out. Oh, hell yeah. Get me out of here. Really? Mm-hmm. Don't you trust me? Even if you don't. Twyla reached around out to me. Do you have any other choice? Oh, hell yeah. Give me that hand, girl. Before I could answer her, a gunshot rang out through the building. We both turned to face where the noise came from. Twyla ran in the direction of the noise. Oh, no, Twyla. And I followed her. When we got to the destination, without hesitation, Twyla slammed the door open, and the source of the sound stood right in front of us. Uh-oh. Fucking piece of shit! And that's one for Ma! Oh. Uh-oh. Croven, what are you doing? What? What's the matter? I felt like I could throw up. The smell of blood already beginning to permeate the room. Come on, Mars, don't give me that look. You should be happy. Happy? How can I be happy over something like this? 'Cause the fucker killed my parents, goddammit. Can't take a life if you ain't prepared to lose your own. Haha. Oh. And what the fuck are you laughing at? Calvin! It's nothing. It's nothing, I just... Ha ha ha. Oh. Ha ha ha. It's just so funny to me. So funny that you thought he was still in control after all this time. And then Mary. Ahaha. I thought I'd have to lie my ass off to her all night when I saw her walking around this dump. Turns out, I don't even have to wait that long. It's hysterical to me. Hysterical. That you ever thought you could pull off this shit the way I have. You think that waste of flesh could have ever had it in him to off your parents the way I did? He was too much of a fucking pussy to even attempt it. And you know what the best part was? It was so fucking easy. Even Mary's dumbass could have done it if she tried. I've been running this shit for years now, you idiot. But I bet you'd never be able to figure that shit out if it wasn't here yelling it at you right now. So hand over that fucking gun and wipe that stupid fucking look off your face before Mary's head becomes my new jack-o'-lantern for Halloween. Shoot the hostage. Shoot the hostage. You've seen Speed. Shoot the hostage. Do it. Kroven carefully approached Twyla. I felt the knife she was holding lightly press against my cheek. They didn't trade off. Me for the gun, and then she held it up to both of us. I bet you thought you really did something, huh? You know what? Yeah, and I guess you did. Too bad it really doesn't matter. Keeping your eyes on us, Twyla pulled out her phone. She typed away on it. A few moments later, someone stepped into the room. I need you to take these guys back to their cells and make sure they don't get out again until I ask for one. That doesn't look like your personality. Don't kill them, but you're more than welcome to rough them up if they get on your nerves. Yes, ma'am. Kroven and I were apprehended by the strange man. He led us out, holding our arms together tightly. He shoved us through the halls, and we caught a glance or two more of Twyla's goons passing us by. Once we were back in the area that held all the cells, the man finally spoke to us. Ovidius? I thought it was you. I'm so glad. Oh, shit. Hey, Ovidius. Yeah, hey. What the fuck do you think you're doing? No, I don't even want to hear it right now. We're getting you out of here. All of you. All? Ovidius brought Kroven and I a few cells further, and I could hardly believe my own eyes when I saw... Oh, they're alive. Hell yeah. Thank goodness. Mom and Dad. Are they? They're alive. Merely unconscious. We're getting them out of here, and we're all leaving now. Ovidius handed us our phones back. Had a feeling you'd like to see these again also. Oh my goodness, dude. It's like Christmas. Whoa, hold on. We're just supposed to fucking leave? Well, yeah. That isn't gonna help shit. You know what happens if we leave? They just fucking take us prisoner all over again. We are outnumbered here, bro. Shut up with your logic! And stop calling me Kroven. Ain't it supposed to be boss to you? What are you trying to do? Put everyone in danger? You told me my job was to protect them, right? Then that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Good. Then do it. Protect them for the moment, but I'm gonna ensure they won't need protection anymore. Okay, bye. Kroven! God fucking damn it! Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Leave him. Bye. He wasn't my route. Mary, are you okay? I've never seen Kroven so fired up before. Even when he was angry or frustrated. It wasn't like this. Never like this. Come on. Let's get out of here. Leave? Well, Kroven's still in here? If he wants to get himself killed, then I can't stop him. It's like he said. He's my boss. And my order is to protect you first and foremost. We can't leave. We have to go after him. If we leave, then what's going to happen to him? Mary, we're getting you out of here. Ovidius, can I just... It may be a lot, but can I ask you for one last favor? What? Dad somewhere safe. Because I'm not gonna lose any more of my family. Mary. I heard Ovidius call out after me, but I couldn't leave like this. I couldn't. I tried to follow where I thought Groven might have been headed. Though, I may have already begun to regret my decision. I heard gunshots once more. Gunshots. In burst mode. Talking to ghosts somehow get me out of this one? I doubt it. I tried to keep myself as hidden and discreet as possible as I moved through the halls. If I ran into someone, oh God, I didn't want to think about that. I didn't want to think about what might be happening to Coven right now either. No, it's okay. He's okay. Right now, to my knowledge, Croven is alive, and I'll make sure it stays that way. My goal did not change from what I initially escaped. I was still going to find a way out. Only this time, I would make sure Croven made it out with me. I was lucky not to run into anyone as I made my way around. I suppose Croven was leaving them preoccupied. Since my goal is to get him out of here, I don't exactly know if that's the best thing for me right now. Suddenly, I felt a breeze. The cold chill of the outside breezing through the halls. Is there really an exit nearby? Turning down a few more corners, I spotted it. A door just so slightly ajar, leading outside. Is it a trap? No, it shouldn't be. They only know that Croven's escaped again, and his goal definitely wasn't to leave. I carefully approached the door and stepped outside. There was no one waiting to trap me, but there was a parking lot. That's take a key and scratch all their cars. This is the way out. There's a few cars here, not to make any assumptions, but Croven might know how to hotwire one of these, right? I walked over to one of the cars, wondering how we might be able to get inside. Would they even notice one is missing until it's too late? I placed my hand on the handle of the car and pulled. It was mostly just because of instinct, but the car door opened anyways. That's strange. Despite how odd I found it, I climbed into the front seat of the car. We're gonna become a hostage, aren't we? Did we check the back seats? I'm really sitting in this car right now? Mary, are you old enough to drive? I can't remember. Does it matter in this situation? Probably not. Can your feet even reach the pedals? The keys are still in the ignition, too. That's really strange. Or, well, maybe not. I guess if you trusted everybody here or needed to be able to make a quick getaway just in case, then you wouldn't really feel the need to lock your car doors. Suddenly I heard a noise in the not-so-far-off distance. It was the door. The one I exited out of. Someone was coming to look for their car. I froze in place. Please don't be this car. Please don't notice me. Just drive away. But despite my prayers, it seemed it was my fault for choosing the wrong car. I heard the door of the car click open and was met with a shocked expression of Twyla. Hey, what up, girl? I think the both of us were too surprised at the sight of each other to say anything. After what felt like forever and only a few seconds at the same time, I saw Twyla look back towards the car and then back at me. Fuck it. Twyla began to climb over me and into the passenger seat of the car. Then, shut the door and get driving. Before I'd decide you weren't worth sparing. Not wanting to be shot, I did as instructed. And we drove off. She told me where to drive, and I followed her instruction best I could. Not back-talking. Not saying anything. God forbid she decide I'm not worth sparing. Hey, you know what? If you're driving 70 miles an hour on the highway, you can ask questions. We barely got onto the empty road when I heard the screech of tires behind us and more gunshots to follow suit. I almost swerved, but Twyla yelled at me just to drive faster. Fucking bullshit. Then, suddenly, my phone went off. Of all the times, why now? As soon as I did, Twyla once again yelled at me to keep driving. She burrowed her hands into my pockets and pulled out my phone. She declined whoever it was that was calling, instead made her own phone call. Hey, asshole! Mary's the one driving the fucking car! So unless you want her brains to wind up on the inside of the windshield, I'd stop fucking chasing us! Then she threw my phone out the window. I looked into the rearview mirror. The car that was following us began to slow and then completely stopped. Even though it was far, I could have sworn I saw that it was Croven who got out of the car. As I drove off, I wish I could have been in that car. Mary, it's okay. You couldn't have known. But I would have at least looked at a couple different cars. Instead of the one I was trapped in right now. We drove in quiet. How do you even make small talk in this? I can't remember what scene in what movie where it was how to get out of this situation. The trick is you need to be the one wearing a seatbelt, and they need to be the one not wearing a seatbelt, and you literally just slam on the brakes as hard as possible, or you like run into a tree or something, and then you combat roll out. But then you got to be careful because her hawk neck probably wouldn't break, or her owl neck, it would just spin on its axis. Or at least I did. She just sat beside me, pointing the gun at the direction the entire time. I'm completely fine with this situation, I might add. Barking out a direction or lane change or turn I would have to make every now and again. The drive was incredibly dark, and if it weren't for the vibrant streetlights that dotted the road every now and again, I might not have been able to see anything. I drove as safely as I could, with the little light I had, and with the ever-present threat of Twyla's gun. What's the point of pointing a gun at me the whole time? You only would need to point the gun at me when I get out of the car. Right? Like, what am I gonna do? I can't just teleport out of the car. You could accidentally shoot me. Stop it. She wouldn't really shoot me, right? She couldn't. I was driving. If she shot me, then she'd be risking her own life, too. So maybe it's okay to talk to her. Hell yeah, exactly. Even if this Twyla is entirely different from the person I thought she was. Twyla? What? She didn't sound happy or patient. I don't understand. Who are you? I don't understand. I get... This is too obvious. That's a stupid question. No, it's not. Who are you? Who is anyone? Does it matter? It doesn't change anything right now. I can't even fathom why you would do something like this. Oh, why would you want to do something like this? Like what? Like kidnapping my family. Well, it's nothing personal. Probably. Like being the head... Well, that's probably fun, actually. Oh, don't take it so personally. It doesn't matter if it was you or him or anyone else. You're all just sticks in the same campfire. It was merely a means to get ahead. The opportunity was available to me and I took it. Yeah, that's what I figured. It was never about you, Twyla. Were you going to kill Croven? Oh, we have past and present tense. Are you going to kill Croven, I guess, is a more pertinent one. She definitely was going to kill him. I think this one's more pertinent. Turn at this right. I followed suit. The traffic light was green, so I just sped through before it could change again. I haven't seen a single other card on these rows. To answer your question, it was the plan. Wipe him out and then be done with it already. He's been causing us so much trouble after all. Wouldn't it be easiest to just have him out of the way? But then I realized if I could control him, it'd be much more worthwhile than killing him. So I've kept him alive. Is that why you kidnapped him? No. It's why I've kidnapped you. We continued to drive for a long time. As we did, I noticed the surroundings start to become familiar, and before too much longer I realized we were entering Blackwood once again. Keep driving until I tell you to stop. I did as she instructed. I drove slower, following her increasingly confusing instructions. Turn right then, left then, straight then, left again. She's like the angriest GPS. Until she had me park the car on an unfamiliar street. Then she got out of the car, but pointed her gun at me the entire time. I guess it was in case I tried to escape. If you just learned that you're a bargaining chip, right? So even if you tried to run, she probably wouldn't try to fatally shoot you, right? She opened up my door and grabbed me by the wrist. Get up. As soon as I exited the vehicle, Twyla began running with me in tow. I felt myself tripping over my own 2 feet as I struggled to keep up with her speed. I thought about yelling, but the threat of her violence prevented me from doing any of the things I would have liked to do. I couldn't exactly see where we were running to so quickly, in the dark. Oh, until we approached the gates. We're at the cemetery. Oh, hell yeah. I didn't say anything as Twyla dragged me inside and ran through. She moved with purpose. She had a specific location in mind. But she couldn't possibly be running towards the mausoleum? The one place in the cemetery I never had access to. But she does. I heard an unlocking sound. Oh, come on. Come on. She grabbed me once again and began pushing me through the double doors, even though inside was an immediate staircase down. I heard her lock the door behind us and then hurry me down the stairs. When we got to the bottom, what is all this? Underneath the mausoleum was this strange bunker? For how long? Was it always like this? Was anyone ever kept here at all? It has internet? Twyla ran straight for the computers in the back, and I followed her. You left the gun on the chair? Look at Mary, just look at it like, I could do it. I could do it. Saving. 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 There'll be more waifus. We have to get rid of this one. She typed rapidly, and I couldn't quite understand what she was doing. But she also left her gun on the chair. She just left it. Did she realize? Oh my god, her myop. This is so in character for her. She flippin' immediately started to get to work and not pay any attention to anything. Right? And then she's very easily or difficult to get away from her work. Take gun. Before she could realize what I did, I picked up the gun from the chair. She turned to face me as I pointed it at her. Oh, and what do we have here? Twyla, I can't let you do this. What's that? You can't let me do this? What are you going to do? Are you going to shoot me? No, I'm going to shoot your computer. And then myself. If what? Come on, Mary. We both know you'd never forgive yourself if you did. But if you insist, then I'll give you an open shot. Well, what are you waiting for? Go on, then. Try it. Shoot, Twyla. Oh my gosh. I get a literal whatever at this. Hold on. We're gonna back up the truck. I'm being taunted right now. All right. Let's think this through. So Twyla was going to kill my family member. She definitely has already killed 2 of my family members in the form of my aunt and uncle. But Croven killed her uncle. So if we're going tit for tat here, I mean, isn't it fair? But she's the leader. She's like the queen piece. But she was going to kill Croven. Also, I like her. Let's see what happens when I do not. She was right. I couldn't do it. Here, I want to show you something. Twyla took the gun from my hands and pointed it at me. I felt myself freeze. Was she really? Click. Empty. What? Did you really think I'd run away from a fight if I was out of ammo? Oh. Yeah, I mean, he kind of had like the edge there, didn't he? I don't know what he was shooting at you with. He had a handgun. I would have ran. Huh. Thanks for being in that car, though. No problemo, girlfriend. It saved me a few extra steps in my new plan. You're leaving me down here? Oh, don't worry. I'll be back for you soon. Okay? I've just got some stuff to take care of first. So just be a little patient and take the time to say goodbye to this cemetery you love so much. She walked up the stairs and soon I heard the door unlock and lock again. Did she leave the internet on? Twyla, what am I supposed to do? Should I have gone after her? Would it have changed anything if I did? Oh, don't just sit there and cry. Come on, the computer's on. I tried to get out, to find anything that could help me. But it wasn't any use. The corkboard didn't have anything on it I understood. The computers were password protected. Oh, that's a bummer. And the doors up there wouldn't budge if I ran myself into them. Everything that happened just ended up with me getting trapped again. It didn't help anything in the end. I'm right back to where I was. Is this a sign? Should I just stop trying to do anything? Am I just going to make it worse? I guess that's not so different from how it usually is, huh? Hide. Hide in the room. Lots of dots. What's that so bad for anyways? If they die, that just means they get to be with us. What's so scary about that? That isn't the point. I know you're worried, but it seems like you've done all you can. Whatever happens, aren't you happy it'll soon be over with? No, I can't be. I mean, how do I even know this is what the afterlife is really like? You're talking to us, aren't you? But are you even real? How do you mean? We wouldn't be here if we weren't real, I guess. I don't know. Little did you know that Ed was a principal mastermind of his own, and he's gonna show you how to make a bomb. All right, here you go, girlie. I don't want to come back here for a different reason than usual. Oh, you poor little thing. You don't belong here. It's a unicorn! Why are you here again? It's because of that silly little book, right? That stranger kept talking. And as he approached me, it was as if the world around the two of us began to distort, and all I could comprehend was him and B. But you know something. Truth be told, I think you could have made it here without that stupid thing. What are you talking about? Who are you? I think you've always had that ability. You just didn't realize it, though I suppose that is partially my fault, isn't it? It's no wonder you like the cemetery so much. Please slow down. I'm having trouble understanding. Oh, that's right. I'm going off on a tangent. Forgive me. I often forget what it's like to talk to people. I just wanted to offer you some help. Get you out of this little predicament you're in. Help? You can help me, but how? This is just a dream. I'm gonna give you a Shinigami book, and you're gonna write everyone's name in it. Nothing here can change what's happening out there. Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Don't you believe that anything is possible? By now, you've surely seen it for yourself. Then how do you plan to help me? That is a secret, but I can promise you I can make it happen. It just needs a little bit of a push, that's all. A push? I just need a little more power to be able to make it all happen. And this power you have, I think it should do just fine. What do you mean? Your ability to travel to this world, receive glimpses of it from the outside. If you give it to me, I can help you in exchange. I could just give it to you? Precisely. Then if I do that, I won't be able to come back here though, right? No, you won't. But you want to save your family, right? Yes, of course I do. Then, do we have a deal? If you really can fix it all. Yes, of course we do. Wonderful. I'll see you later, dear. I woke up to the sound of something incredibly loud. The echoes of the bunker not helping in its volume. It happened again. At first I thought there was some sort of earthquake happening, before I realized that it was actually coming from above ground. Someone was trying to get in. But who? Police? More gang members? Did Twyla lock herself out by mistake? I heard the door open. Heavy steps made their way down the stairs. And the person who came down was... Ovidius! Ovidius, I'm so glad it's you. Hey, kid. I'm glad you're alright. I'm so happy you're here. How did you even get here? What do you mean? How'd you know how to find me here? Because you texted it to me, remember? Texted? But my phone is... wait. It's still too early to celebrate. Twilight, she might come back any minute. I know, that's why we're getting you out of here. What's the good in that? Huh? I've been thinking about the things Croven's been saying. Isn't he kind of right? Let's say you get me out of here, then what happens? Are they going to kidnap me again? And what'll happen to Croven? Mary? Oh, okay. How isn't it? I was always involved even when I didn't know it. How am I ever supposed to feel safe? Or feel as though anyone I like is safe? Croven and Twilight, neither of them would be in the position they're currently in if they weren't both adamant people. So how can we expect to feel safe until one side gives out? Ovidius, do you think we have to kill Twyla? It'd probably be the easiest way. But even with that option, I don't think Croven would ever be satisfied unless he was able to do it himself. But then what are we supposed to do? Twyla would never let herself stay somewhere where she isn't armed or guarded. And if the Parliament threatens to attack our family, then Croven won't want to attack anyways, right? What do we do? You know, I think I may have a plan. Really? It might work. I need to make a call right now, though, if we have any chance of pulling it off. I need to make a call right now, though, if we even have a chance of pulling it off. What is it? Just this once, you can worry about it. Oh, what is this now? I thought I locked the door when I left. Have you been playing stupid with me this whole time? Or did you just know the cemetery even better than I thought you did? Really? You're trying to threaten me with that again? What's the point in that? I already know the gun is empty. So, you managed to find some bullets for it, huh? Well, it's a good thing I came back with this. Now you don't want to do anything reckless, right? Because, well, let's face it, Mary, we both know I've got much better aim than you. And when it comes down to chance, do you really fancy your odds? I don't know if she likes hers, but I sure like mine. Double teamed. Croven and I cornered Twyla. We stood in a straight line with Twyla in the middle. Huh. Well played. I admit I've got no idea how you managed to pull this off. Well, what are you waiting for? Shoot me then. What? Wait, no. Really, Croven? Isn't this what you've been waiting for? Are you really that much of a coward? After all this time and all this chase, you're just not going to do anything? I thought you wanted to kill me. Go on then. Shoot. Oh, and we gotta save. Empty slot? How did that get there? Don't listen to her, Crover! Blow her pretty birds out! Oh, jeez. It's not worth it. I feel like both of them are incorrigible, but I also feel like it doesn't really matter what I yell out here, so. It isn't worth it, Croven. Is killing her really the right way to go about this? You don't have to kill her, please, Si. I don't want to see you as a murderer. Despite all that's changed, I know that Croven isn't a bad person, so please don't shoot her. If you're not gonna shoot me, then what am I even holding back for? I could just shoot you both right now with no consequences then, right? Because Mary won't shoot me, then if you won't either, then what am I worried for? Can you ever keep your fucking mouth shut? You're so fucking annoying. She's already caught. You don't have to be her. Oh, that's a good one. This won't bring them back. You don't have to be her. You don't have to be her. All of these are kind of saying a similar thing. This is kind of manipulative, though. Not manipulative. That's an excellent point, but this is kind of insulting her as well. I don't know. These are all good. I feel like he'll just argue with this one. You don't have to be her. Yes, I do. I have to be her. Blah, blah, blah. She's already caught. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, then she'll just run away. Just because she's gone doesn't mean your parents will come back. It's not going to fix anything. Are you really listening to her right now? Because if that's the case, then I'm really not cornered at all. What's to stop me from taking you both out? Just like with dear old Mom and Dad. They were easy, you know. Like throwing a rock at a bird's nest. One clear shot and they're gone. So tell me, what kind of bird do you think Mary is? Will it bleed when it hits? Will she take the whole nest down with her? And will she let out? Croven shot the gun. Twyla ducked out of the way, so there was nothing standing between me and the bullet. I saw white. But I didn't feel any pain. I didn't feel anything, because I didn't get shot. Uh-oh. Avidius. Twyla ran off out of the cemetery, and Croven followed her. I began to hear the distant shots of their guns as they ran off, but I was more concerned with Avidius. You. I thought you were going to I thought you were going to stab her, sorry. I thought you were going to grab her. There wasn't a good time I couldn't. When I saw Croven's face, I knew he... Where's your phone? I'll call an ambulance. No. You can't do that. I'll just make everything harder. And what am I supposed to do? You're breathing all heavy and you're bleeding and... You don't have to do anything. Now I've got to do something. Why did you do that? I've told you, my job was to protect you. I couldn't let you down. No, it was stupid. This shouldn't have happened. You shouldn't have risked your life over someone like me. I'm nothing. Mary. Shut up. Huh? Sorry. But I need you to not talk like that, acting as if there's something you need to do, and that you're worthless otherwise. Do you really believe that? That I'd fight so hard to protect someone I thought was worthless? Croven too, and all your family. This all happened because they thought you were someone worth protecting. Ovidius, thank you so much. I could never. There's nothing you've got to do. I did my job, and that's good enough for me. Ovidius. Aw, darn. I liked him. Thank you so much. I hugged him as gently as I was able to. I hope you know. I felt his arms wrap around me in turn. He gave me a pat on the back. I told you. I'm good at what I do. Did I make the wrong choice? I don't know how long I stayed there. I just knew I didn't want to let him go. All this time, he had wanted to help me. And the place it got him? No, I couldn't think of it that way. That's not what he wanted from me. And I won't disrespect his memory. The sun began to rise, and with it something else returned. I heard his limping footsteps walk down the sidewalk. A stomp, then a scrape, then a stomp, then a scrape. The closer he got, the more I could hear the raggedness in his breathing, and as I picked my head up, I noticed the blood that stained him. Croven. Did you kill her? Please say something. You said you didn't want to see me as a murderer, right? Now that's okay. Did I just miss something? It's officially... Oh! Subject change. It's officially autumn now. It felt like it would never come. But time always marches forward and the seasons do change eventually. Everything changes eventually. And a lot changed from what things were like before. Mom and Dad were found safe and unharmed, and we were able to live in Blackwood again. We even opened the diner again, and at almost no time at all, people began to come back to eat with us. In that sense, it was almost as if nothing had changed at all. The more things change, the more they say the same, as they say. Some people would start small talk and say that they missed us and wonder where we went. Of course, we didn't say anything. Other than that, we were just on a little vacation, that's all. But one thing about the restaurant that's different is that Croven is living with us now. I know he wouldn't do it unless he felt it was safe to do so. Croven, is this your scarf? Or you got him a scarf? So if that's the case, I'm glad that things are safe. Plus, I think he'd get too lonely living in that little safe house cabin all by himself. Sometimes I think he gets a little annoyed by us, like when Mom tells him not to eat from the cookie basket, or when Dad reminds him to dress warmer in the cold weather. Does Croven know sign language? Mom tells him not to eat from the cookie basket. Is she just signing angrily, don't eat from the cookie basket? But I think he appreciates it too. He's definitely doing a lot better now, at least. He also promised that he'd be honest with me should something like this ever happen again. Speaking of things like this, there was never anything on the news or any police reports of things that happened that night. Sometimes I wonder if Twyla was right when she told me that the police here have been covering things up. Or if the Congress has got anything to do with it. Speaking of that night, rumors of a murderer gradually faded until they completely disappeared. Just like... I haven't seen or heard from Reginald ever since that night. Whenever I text or call him, I never get any response. And when I visit places like the library or the cemetery, he's never there. He's just gone. I still don't know why he was there, or what happened to him since. but I miss him. He was my friend. I hope wherever he's gone, he's doing okay. Croven never actually told me about what happened with Twyla. But a mysterious small headstone with her initials appeared in the cemetery. There was never a service for it. It was just here one day. Sometimes I wonder if it's really her. Wouldn't that be hilarious if Mary kept her power and she just visited Twyla every day by sleeping on her grave? God, Mary, I thought I was finally free of this. God. Sometimes I wonder if I should leave flowers for her. Sometimes I wonder if she would even want me to. There's someone I do want to leave flowers for eventually. Ovidius never had a service or a headstone. I'm not even sure where they brought his body after the whole thing, but I hope it's someplace nice. But I've been speaking with Croven and he said we can hold a service for him soon. I could plan it. Even if it's late, it's better than never. And even if his body isn't here, maybe his spirit will be. I've been rereading the book How to Talk to Ghosts, because I haven't been able to do it anymore. And it makes me sad, but maybe I'll be able to do it again if I focus. Like that strange unicorn spirit told me, I could probably do it without the book. But maybe the book will help give me a little push. Then maybe I could see everyone again. And Ovidius, maybe one day I'll be able to talk to him again too. And I'll thank him even more for all he's done for me. I'd like that. And I think he would too. My phone's going off again. Oh, right, my phone. Can you believe that amidst all the chaos? We were able to get my phone back. I think Croven was the one who went and found it after Twyla had thrown it out the window. It's got a big crack in it now, but other than that it still works. And I'll keep using it until it stops working. And even then, I'll keep it somewhere safe, because it's what was able to connect Ovidius and I. But I should probably check that message, huh? I had figured it was just my mom messaging me, telling me to come inside for dinner, or that I should hurry home because it was getting cold out. But the number that texted me... No, this doesn't make any sense. This is Ovidius's old number. But Ovidius is... I opened the message. Hello again, Mary. True ending complete. Credits text box font is pixel type by the G-Man 0205. Look at him. Look at all the free sounds that were used. Oh my goodness. This visual novel used these sounds from... Oh, wait. Cursive, right? Oh, right. Where I remember. I actually know what that one sounds like. Guest art provided by... Hey, look, nice. I remember those were on the wall. I think the person on the left might be Mediton. Like a sexy Mediton. Yep, I remember those ones. Thank you for playing. Oh, I wouldn't have skipped through it that fast. Oh well. We got to see Mary waving. Excellent job. Holy smokes. I love this game. This game was super good. Something I always appreciate with visual novel games is consistency of character, that characters kind of act in inevitable ways with their own little agendas and beliefs, or big agendas and beliefs. The more conflict you have between the characters, the more those natural conflicts and agendas will meet when they interact with one another. And it kind of started off slow, well, at least for the route that I took, which was the Twyla route, where Twyla kind of emerged as, oh, are you like a vigilante justice kind of character? Okay, you've got connections. You have some sort of beef with Krovan. You slowly creeped into it. And then when I was editing the videos or going over them again with some of the future knowledge that I had learned, it's like, oh, there were all these little hints about the nature of the criminal organization with the Parliament. And I had just said in one of the playthroughs, I'm like, oh, isn't a group of owls called a parliament? And then the criminal organization is called the Parliament. I was wondering why the crows weren't called like a murder, but I guess you wouldn't call a gang the murder, would you? You would want some sort of parallel between the Parliament and the Congress. So I'm wondering if there are deliberate animal species in this universe. I was a little surprised to see the Grim Reaper have a unicorn horn. Is that just because he was maybe like, or she, I don't know, that's the last of their kind or something? Are unicorns avatars of death in the lore of this universe? I'm not sure. That was funny to see, but owls having giant eyebrows and similarities between their species, and then there was the crow species, and whatever species Reginald was. What happened to Reginald? I might have to play this on my own time to be able to figure out some of these other stories, but there's a lot more that I could talk about, but I definitely like the game. What do you guys think about the game if you got this far? These were definitely longer parts than I normally do. Normally I do the 20 to 30 minute parts, but I figured I wanted to be able to, when I get into a story, I want to keep playing, so it's hard for me to stop. And after taking such a long break, ordinarily I would have released this in parts that are about 30 to 40 minutes. Did people like that better? It seems like, when I'm looking at the watch time and stuff like that, people definitely are watching more of it when they're the longer pieces, but I think, I don't know. I just need to figure out some sort of tempo. I'll worry about that in my own time. But at any rate, I finished the game. I'm going to be looking for recommendations. I definitely have a list growing of all the games that people have been recommending. So if you guys have any games that you're looking at me to play, now is the time to recommend them. So, well, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.